Hello and welcome to the Micklin Law Group's how-to video series. This is attorney Brad Micklin. I'm the managing member of the Micklin Law Group, which is a law firm concentrated in men's and fathers' rights in divorce, custody, and family law issues, and located in northern New Jersey. As you may know, I do various different video series on my YouTube page as well as my website, micklinlawgroup.com. I do a daily tip, which is a very short, simple piece of advice I try to give people on a daily basis to help you throughout a divorce and family law matter. I do a monthly webinar series where I take 40 or 50 minutes, sometimes even longer, and I go through one broad topic, but in great detail. Then there's this how-to video, which is sort of a blend between the two. I want to give you a little more information than I do in my daily tip, but not nearly as much as the monthly webinars, so that way if you don't have a lot of time to review, you can at least get a good, concise advice for divorce and family law matters. So today's divorce how-to series is how to prepare information for a divorce case. I'm going to cover just, I think, 4 or 5 of the most important things that you need to cover. They're going to be essentially, you need to know your bills, you need to know your income, you need to know your assets, your debts, and your lifestyle and your future changes. Specifically, they're all kind of interrelated. First, the bills are going to be the most important. If there's going to be an alimony claim or even child support, you want to be familiar with your bills. Now, child support is generally done by a child support guideline, but they do require that you file a case information statement, which is a long, tedious financial document about everything you do, from paying taxes to how much you spend on hair care. The court rules technically require that a judge use a case information statement when determining child support, even though the guidelines are presumed to be accurate. But if there's a case that you're going to be either deviating from the guidelines or there's some reason that the guidelines are insufficient, you're going to need the case information statement, and your bills are going to be what makes up the most important part of your case information statement. It's also, like I said, it's important if there's going to be an alimony claim because it's going to be used to determine your lifestyle. Now, as a divorce attorney, I'm often shocked how often people will come in and have no idea what their bills are. Now, most of us have done enough case information statements where we can assist you in sort of estimating what your bills were, but you still need to find out and verify them. If you can, it'll also be good to get copies of your bills so you can attach to your case information statement so that when you are discussing things like child support and alimony, you'll actually have the documentation for it. Next is your income. You want to know both yours and your other spouse's income, past and potential future. Normally, we look at anywhere from 5 to 10 years of income tax returns. If there's a business, you also want to get those income tax returns because you need to figure out what business expenses that may be personal that are being paid out of the business. There may be depreciation that works as a deduction on your tax returns but doesn't really cost, so it just reduces an income that may be reported on tax returns, so you may need to actually adjust it upwards. And you also want to know and be ready for if there's any substantial change in the income in the past few years. There's a concept called imputation of income where if somebody's voluntarily underemployed, the court can inflate the income back to what it should be. Now, if your spouse or even the parent of your child has lower income than normal, then you need to be prepared to show why it should be imputed. If you are the person who's not earning as much as you used to be, you want to be able to show why it should not be imputed, why you are not voluntarily underemployed, which is the standard for it. Next, you want to know the assets that you're holding. First, basically, you want to know the value and payoff of any loans. You also want to know whether it was purchased before or after the marriage and the values that existed before and after the marriage. You also want to know the basic purchase price so that you can determine if there's going to be any tax consequence, like a capital gain tax, for instance. Next, you want to look at what your debts are. A lot of people will come in and have no idea because one party handles the payment of all the bills, so they don't know what their debts are. There's often a claim on credit cards that maybe they were or were not marital expenses. There could be another person involved, like a boy or girlfriend, and there's money's being spent. So you want to be able to know what the debts are and have the documents to go through them. And you want to make sure that they're marital debts. You want to make sure that they were incurred during the marriage and for purposes related to the marriage. And lastly, you want to have a general sense of what your lifestyle is. You want to be able to describe your lifestyle. Not only just whether it's lower, middle, or upper class, but you want to be able to talk about how often you vacationed, how you bought cars, how you used and paid for credit cards, where you went to restaurants and entertainment. You want to be able to describe it because while your case information statement is going to itemize all of these things, it won't really give you the picture that you need to illustrate if there is either an alimony claim or need to adjust your child support. Now, with regard also to lifestyle, my last point, you also want to consider what your future lifestyle is going to be like. Even though support's not generally based on future lifestyle, there are going to be significant issues to determine, especially in child support cases. Not just college, which is an obvious future consequence, but changes in educational systems. You may have educational needs of your own if you're in school or trying to further your education. If there's alimony, there may be schooling or training that's required for it to be terminated. So you want to see what changes you're going to have in both yours and your family's future so you can build these costs into your lifestyle so that when you evaluate all these issues together, it gives a clear picture of what your needs are going to be. For more information on this and other tips, you can go to my website, which is micklinlawgroup.com. That's MICKLIN, lawgroup.com, all one word. You can always call us at 973-562-0100 for a consultation, or subscribe to my YouTube page, which is probably where you're seeing this. And lastly, you can text the letters MLG, which is short for Micklin Law Group, to the number 72,000 on your cell phone, and you'll be subscribed for free updates. Thank you.